Hello, and welcome back. Oh boy. Hey family. I am back. How's everybody doing? How was the week? I may not be my bubbly self because I did get beat up this week. It was a long week. It was a tough week. I went to a funeral that was tough. Then I'm juggling a lot of other things, and yeah, a lot of emotions running through me right now, but I'm here. I'm blessed to be here. I know this too shall pass, and so I want to actually I'm sitting here journaling, trying to get some of those feelings out on paper because of course that always helps me. And I'm just sitting here staring out the window. Just got back from running a bunch of errands, and I am going to insert the video that I want to do this week. And so I wanted to continue the topic of love. And one of the things that, if you watched last week, one of the things that I spoke about was redefining love. Not based on feelings and not based on experience, but based on truth. And I told you that if the cross represents love, that a lot of what we hold on to, a lot of what we have tried to fix, or a lot that we have cried over was never love to begin with. And I want to actually get deeper with that today, because it's where things get really real. Because now the question becomes, if this was not love, why did it feel so real? Why was it hard to let go? Why did it consume me so much? Why did it take so long for me to move on? And I am going to answer that honestly today, because it wasn't love. It was attachment. And attachment can feel more powerful than love because it's rooted in fear. And I need you to lean into this and not rush past this right now. Because some of you are still trying to heal from something that you have not properly identified yet. And before we go any further, I want to say something that I really don't want you to miss. It is okay that you loved them. It is okay that your feelings were real. It is okay that it meant something to you. Just because it wasn't healthy doesn't mean that your heart was not genuine. And I need you to hear this part clearly. I'm not saying that it was the kind of love that you deserve. I'm saying that you are capable of loving deeply, even in the wrong situation. And that doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you foolish, and it doesn't make you too much. It makes you human. And just because you're choosing to let go now doesn't mean that these feelings just automatically disappear overnight. Because for me, in my situation, they did not. There were moments when I still sat and I thought about him. Moments that I missed him. Moments where I had to remind myself why things actually ended. And that can be really confusing. When your mind does not understand the truth, but your heart is still catching up. That doesn't mean, though, that you're going backwards. It doesn't mean that you made the wrong decision. It means that you are in the process of detaching. You are detaching yourself from something that you were emotionally connected to. And that takes time. So let's talk about it. All right, so attachment is not just about liking somebody. It's not just about caring for someone. Attachment is when someone becomes emotionally essential to you. Not just important, but necessary. It's when your emotional state starts depending on how they respond, how they show up, how they treat you. It's when one text can change your entire mood. One moment of distance feels like rejection. One inconsistency feels like loss. And what makes attachment feel so dangerous is that it doesn't feel toxic at first. It feels like connection. It feels like chemistry. It feels like I've never felt this way before. Now, how many times have I said that? But let's be honest. A lot of us have not felt peace before either. So we confuse intensity with something that feels meaningful. Attachment is driven by questions like, do they still want me? Am I enough for them? Why are they pulling away from me? Love is not supposed to sound like that. Love does not feel like you are constantly auditioning for something. It's not supposed to. And I want to sit here and be real with you for a second. I don't want you to ever think that I'm making these videos and I've never lived like this. There was a time where I thought I was in love. Now, I have been in love twice in my life, like head over heels. But there's one specific time where I thought I was in love. When I look back at it now, I can see how much of myself I slowly gave away. And the scary part of it, I didn't even notice that I was doing that. It started very small, very subtle things that I was doing, almost unrecognizable. I would think things like, let me wear my hair like this. I think he likes it better this way. Maybe I should tone down my personality just a little bit. Let me not say too much because I don't want to come off the wrong way. Maybe I should present myself this way so I can be more acceptable to him. Even down to the small things, right? So my nail color, for instance, he liked lighter nail color. How I showed up, how much of myself I revealed. And it didn't feel like I was changing myself because, take for instance, the nail color. I like lighter colors. So to me, I didn't mind switching things up and only doing lighter colors. It just felt like I was adjusting, being flexible, being understanding, being easy to love. But what I was really doing was studying what I thought he preferred. I was really reshaping myself to match it, to maintain that connection with him. I toned down my personality. I softened parts of myself. I made myself more digestible for him. And here's the part that really hit me later. I was becoming someone I thought he would choose. instead of being myself and allowing the right person to recognize me. And after all of that, after trying, after adjusting, after showing up the best way I knew how, he still walked away. And I remember sitting there asking myself, how is this possible? How did I do all of this and it still was not enough? And that question right there, that's when the breakthrough started. Because the truth is, it was never supposed to be enough. I was trying to earn something that should have been given freely. This moment in my life changed me because I realized that you cannot secure love by abandoning yourself. If you have to perform to be loved, you are not being loved. You are being accepted conditionally, and anything conditional can be withdrawn. And that's why I never felt secure. You remember those questions I asked in the beginning? Deep down inside, I knew I was being accepted for who I was becoming, not who I truly was. There is something that I had to come to terms with. And I've said this in past videos, but God is not the author of confusion. So if I'm in something that makes me feel unsure, unstable, anxious, constantly questioning myself, then I have to stop spiritualizing it and start being honest about it. Because something we say is, I'm just being patient. When really we are ignoring what's clear, what is sitting right in front of our faces. And that truth is that God's love is not something that you have to chase. It's something that you receive. So if I'm chasing validation, chasing consistency, chasing clarity, that is not love. That's me trying to feel something that only healing can fix. And I want to say this really clearly because I know a lot of you are here right now. It took me a long time to get over him. Not because he was the right person, but because I was so deeply attached to him. I had put this man on a pedestal. I connected my worth to his presence. So letting go of him felt like I was losing something important. But what I was really losing was the illusion, the idea, the version of what I had hoped it could be. I had to remind myself over and over and over and over and over again that he is just a man. I literally would say that to myself. He is just a man. And once I saw that clearly, everything started to shift. I realized that I wasn't in love with him. I did love him, but I was not in love with him. I was in love with what I thought he could be for me. I wrote a blog about it, My Purple Song. Go check it out. But that's what attachment does. It elevates people beyond reality, and it minimizes your own worth in the process. So I'm going to give you some things that helped me through this process of reclaiming myself and getting past that attachment. So the first thing I would tell you to do is be honest about what that really was. Stop calling things love when it's rooted in fear. Clarity is when the healing will start. The second thing I would say is start reclaiming the parts of yourself that you gave away. One of the first things I did, and no lie, one of the first things I did was I polished my nails like the deepest burgundy that I could find. He never would have liked that. But that's what I did. And it just felt amazing. Your voice, your personality, your preferences. Go back and get that version of you. If you have to change who you are to be accepted, you're not being loved. You're being tolerated conditionally. The third thing I would suggest moving forward is stop performing for acceptance. The right person will not require you to be someone else to be loved. The next thing I would say is take them off of that pedestal. See them clearly, not through emotion, but through truth. See them for who they are, not who you would hope they would be. So remember what I said, when me and the mister finally separated, I came to the realization and repeated to myself over and over again, he is just a man. And that is all. He is just a man. And the last thing I would say is understand this. You were never too much. You were just giving yourself to someone who didn't have the capacity to receive you fully, because you deserve to be loved fully, not selectively. If there's one thing that I want you to take from this, is this. You should never have to become someone else to be loved by someone. And if you did, that wasn't love. That was attachment. But I also want you to remember this. Your feelings were real, and healing does take time. And you deserve better than that. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like and share this message with someone that you feel needs to hear it. Because a lot of people are trying to hold on to something that is slowly breaking them down. And next week, we are going to go even deeper. We are going to talk about how these relationships don't just affect your heart. They affect your mental health, your peace, your clarity, your sense of self. And once you understand that, you will absolutely start moving differently. So I will see you next week. I hope this helped you, because healing does not happen overnight, but it does begin the moment you stop abandoning yourself and start choosing truth instead. I love you all. God be with you this upcoming week. I will see you next Sunday. Bye for now.